Hello, welcome to our monthly series of educational webinars. We are Focus Point Technologies. We are here to provide privacy and security solutions to the Upper Midwest. Today, we are going to be addressing the topic of social hacking or social engineering. My name is Kathy Waschenberger, and I'm the CIO of Focus Point Technologies. My background and my passion is around all aspects of data privacy, data protection, cybersecurity, and overall information risk management. The topic today is really to ensure people understand the risks and how to know when they're being targeted by a potential attacker. The format today will be to discuss the challenge in the real world examples related to social engineering. Finally, I want to have you walk away with some practical solutions around awareness, education for your companies, and how you can make these types of things work in your personal lives as well. While the terms are used frequently, I think it's important to define them up front. So when you think of social hacking, or more commonly known as social engineering, it's really the manipulation of people, usually not technical, to get them to give up information to attackers. Phishing, that's the use of email to also trick users into providing information like user credentials without really considering it to be wrong. I point this out separately now because it's prevalent in the industry today, and it will likely be one of the largest risks to companies coming up in the next year and going forward. Part of the challenge here also comes from the fact that security technologies and tools are what seems to be driving the market. That said, they're not enough. Everyone is sharing information for others to see as well. We need to be aware of what's being shared about our companies and about our personal information, because that's the data that attackers will use against us going forward. So let's talk through some real-world examples of social engineering that I'm sure you can all relate to. So starting with pretexting or scenario-based methods of retrieving information, that's where the attacker focuses on a fabricated story with really trusting individuals. So think about all the places your company makes information available: the web, brochures, digital boards in the public areas that talk about your priority projects. These are places where an attacker can gather necessary intel. Then they just need to sound convincing and get someone else to trust them. An example is where a fake auditor were to call into finance and ask for details. So think about how that conversation would go, primarily during the time that the external auditors are already on site doing their annual audit. Many times people have been instructed to give auditors information and help in any way they possibly can, making it all that much easier for them. Next, tailgating or piggybacking. This is where an attacker is led to a restricted area, perhaps through the side door or even the employee, simply by offering to hold the door for someone, or by sneaking kind of in along with a crowd of users or employees. So examples here include that nice person approach. Also, you can carry a large package that warrants the employee to hold the door for you. Also think of the person who needs access into the restricted area to change a light bulb, check the thermostat, those types of things. Many times you're going to hear of people gaining access this way to data centers, because they're not always, you're thinking you're there to service the environment and not necessarily as an attacker. Quid pro quo, getting something for something through an exchange of information or some other benefit. So think of the fake technical support person who's there to help solve an ongoing problem. It would only take a few calls in most organizations to find a person who would give out information in exchange for their technical problem to be solved. Another one that's my favorite is when the company or the attacker says that there's a company contest going on for the strongest password. So just type in your password or give me your password, and if it's super strong, you might win a prize. Interesting, huh? My last example deserves some attention. If you're not already doing something today, phishing emails. And there's a number of different types of phishing emails: spear phishing, clone phishing, whaling. They're all buzzwords, and they're all different ways of targeting different individuals within your company. But all of them involve fake emails, and they get people to provide them information. People meaning attackers. So you'll see two attacks this year become even more dangerous: the harvesting. This is where the attacker obtains the user's user ID and password and then has access to email or other access within the environment. A lot of times we're seeing this happen with the move to Office 365, where people will be able to gain access to an email, and then, because it's in the internet facing, and then be able to continue to propagate that and gain additional access. The next is code that's bad, and it's downloaded through emails where an unsuspecting user clicks a link or just opens an attachment. Ransomware, that's a common term that's come up, but that's also the way that, or one of the attacks that's done here, where once you click the link or open the attachment, the malware kicks off and it encrypts your files to make them unusable until the ransom is paid. So what can you do about it? Of course, there are technologies that have been developed to provide training in the form of sophisticated computer-based training or videos with quizzes, posters, other forms of messaging that you can also use to raise awareness. Another one is phishing tests, where emails are sent and you can monitor who actually clicks and provide those users who do click with immediate real-time training of what they did wrong and what to look for next time. Here are also some free resources that are available from reputable security firms. SANS also has resources for both personal and professional use. National Security Awareness Month is usually during the month of October each year, and SANS primarily will give you quite a few free resources during that time as well, both, like I said, for personal and professional use. As you're considering some initial steps in addressing this issue, it's important to first understand where your company is from a maturity standpoint. At the lowest level, you'll see a low priority on security, lack of support, and while you might see that need for training or awareness, it's really not there today. The next level is more foundational in nature, where you are getting a good start on the baselines needed, but many times this level is driven by compliance-related requirements only. Now you're moving to a more defined environment where support is much improved, awareness is part of the program. You may not still have robust educational materials, but you're really thinking about them and they're on your roadmap. Managed is where you have a strong support to train the organization. Budget is also assigned in this phase, and it's something that is expected from those in the organization. And here, you're optimizing your training and awareness. Your campaigns are here to ensure continuous improvement through monitoring, data, metrics-based decision-making. It's really not unheard of in this particular maturity model to get to that optimized level in the organization. So don't feel that being optimized, especially around security awareness, is unachievable. Practically lens and the process you could start today to make progress. So first and foremost, understand where you fall on that maturity grid. That will tell you what steps you need to take to make it to the next level. At the same time, you should be ensuring you have the necessary support you need to make this a priority. With limited resources, many organizations will do this in parallel with other security initiatives or other priorities, and you can usually build it right into those other business projects or security projects that you're working on. So next, certainly develop your action plan. I call it a campaign, but it's really a fancy way to understand the who, the what, the how you're going to be pushing those education materials out to people. And then finally, execute away. Move forward up the maturity model as you need to. Think about the technology to enable your defined processes or automate your testing to be more efficient. Think about that once you've got a good base in place. If you do decide to use a technology up front, certainly you can do that, but either way, you're going to have to define that overall plan of action, and you're going to have to put that training plan in place regardless. So this was a short webinar. Hopefully it was quick and informational. I really want to thank you for your time today. Certainly, if you have questions, feel free to contact me directly. And to wrap up, I just want to reiterate that the need is real to educate your employees. They really need to understand the threat of social engineering and social hacking. So we've gone through some basic examples, a maturity model, and some practical next steps to move you in the right direction. So thank you again and have a great day.